Hi, I'm Jack from Veterinary IT Services, and this week I'm going to talk to you about IT strategy for practice growth. A solid IT strategy is a critical part of your practice growth plans. You can't grow your veterinary practice unless your technology serves and enhances what you want to do. In fact, with the right strategy and implementation plan, your IT will be one of the greatest tools you have working with you. So, in this video, I'll highlight the 5 most important areas to address when creating your very own IT strategy. First up, we have outlining your business goals. As a successful practice owner or manager, it's likely that you already have clear goals, but it's also important to consider how your IT infrastructure will accommodate them. You'll need to think about your pipeline and targets too. How can your infrastructure make achieving those goals realistic? What about any future partnerships you plan on making? Will you make any acquisitions or mergers along the way? How will your infrastructure support this kind of growth? You should also consider action plans for individual departments. Will some departments require additional IT tools or support? Will it need adapting for key people or departments? Next up, we have identifying your key people in a timeline. Who will be responsible for delivering your IT strategy? Will you have an internal department handling things, or does it make better financial sense for you to partner with an external company? If so, who will manage liaising with your IT partner? Find out how key people in each department currently use the technology you have. How do they feel it could be improved, and which elements are vital for them to fulfill their roles? You'd be surprised how differently your vets use your technology compared to, say, your receptionists. When are you looking to implement any changes you may need to make? If you need to make some dramatic changes, will it be a practice-wide rollout, or will you do things gradually to help with the budget and/or troubleshooting? Then we move on to reviewing your current IT infrastructure. You really need to understand how well your current infrastructure is working in order to see what improvements, if any, need to be made. As I mentioned before, speak to your key people in each department to find out how they currently are utilising their resources. What improvements do they feel could be made? What would make their job easier? What is making things more difficult than they need it to be? Your people should be telling you how they'd love things to work in a perfect world. If there were no limitations on what you're able to do, that way you can work out to find solutions as close to perfect as possible. Remember that each department will have a different take on this, because they'll be using your technology differently, depending on their roles. The key is to find the sweet spot and keeping everyone productive, motivated, and happy. Then we create your IT roadmap. This might sound like the hardest step, but creating a roadmap for your new IT strategy is vital. If you followed the above advice and planned properly, it shouldn't be too complicated. This is probably where you could do with some help from a strategic IT partner, such as us. You'll need us to think about your overall technological architecture, which involves hardware, software, and other tools your people will be relying upon. Your IT partner should be able to make the appropriate recommendations to fit your requirements and suggest tools that will work with each other seamlessly. We then define the new metrics. While your new IT strategy should work to make your practice life easier, it's also of vital importance that it's cost effective too. Again, breaking it down into departments is critical, and we suggest creating new KPIs, key performance indicators, to help you monitor exactly how performance is changing over time. It's worth remembering that there may be a short period of adjustment for your people, so you may not immediately see the results you're hoping for if you've made some dramatic changes, but it shouldn't take long for you to notice longer term improvements. Now, I know this might all sound a little overwhelming if it's not something you've done in your practice before. However, hopefully you can see the many benefits of creating an IT strategy as part of your overall growth strategy. Thanks for watching. If you want to know more, check out our full blog, IT Strategy for Growing Veterinary Practice. Don't forget to subscribe, but also check out our blog for up-to-date tips and tricks.